Hello everybody, I'm Krasia Tasio, and this video is for the year 2020 for the people who have sidereal ascendant Capricorn, or if you're following the tropical Western modern astrology and you recognize yourself with ascendant Aquarius, then this video is for you. So, sidereal astronomical ascendant Capricorn, which is also used same way by the Vedic Indian astrology, or tropical Western modern ascendant Aquarius. So, this year is very, very, very important for you, very interesting. We'll be talking about this in a minute, but just to explain you in what way I will be looking at your horoscope. First of all, we'll be looking at the most important celestial events, which will be, of course, the most important transits of the heavy planets, like Saturn entering Capricorn, which is your sidereal ascendant. Also, Jupiter entering Sagittarius. Oh, this is very, very important. Of course, we'll be looking at the heliacal phases of the planets. The phases of the planets are very, very important and were considered as the most important celestial events by the ancients, especially the Babylonians. What are the phases of the planets? When a planet is too near the sun, the planet is then hidden in the rays of the sun. And even though it is present, we're not able to detect the planet on the sky. But then there is this very moment when the planet is gaining enough distance from the sun, and then it becomes visible. And this is the first heliacal visibility. It's like the new birth of the planet symbolically. And such births always result in events that we will look at. And then, of course, we look at some aspects, retrogrades, planets as well. And finally, of course, we need to take a look at the eclipses, because 6 of them are taking place this year. Now, the eclipses are very important because, yes, they're not dramatic, but they're not auspicious as well. These are events which take place every year. They are allowed by the universe to take place, so it means they are needed for us. It means they're, in a way, that we learn from them. And they take place like from 2 to 7 per year. So nothing new, but it's good to see which axes, which places they affect in the horoscope, so that we know what to do. So this is about what on the sky we're going to look at. Of course, we can't look at every event because there's so many happening every day, and then this will become endless. But certainly there are many, many important things happening in year 2020, which will be life-changing, like Saturn entering your ascendant Capricorn. And then, of course, everyone's horoscope is unique. It's only one and unique. Therefore, this is a very general description of the celestial events that take place. And if you want very descriptive and detailed analysis, then you may contact me for personal analysis and consultation, and my details will be under this video. So what is happening this year? Very, very amazing. Saturn, the Lord of Karma, the Lord of discipline, the Lord of time, the Lord of tears, the Lord of wisdom, is entering his own sign Capricorn on 30th of January. And this is happening only once per approximately 30 years. If you go back in history and you see what happened 30 years ago, you will see that the whole world changed. Especially countries that were ruled by Capricorn, by Saturn, like the Balkan countries, the whole regimes shifted, life changed. Like that, the world just changed 30 years ago. And I have separate video on Saturn, on mundane level, how he will influence us. You may look at this video. It is recent, I think of last week. Saturn on 30th of January is entering your ascendant. Of course, depending exactly on how Saturn is placed on your natal chart, we can see what kinds of events he will bring. But Saturn is your planet. It is you, because he's ruling your ascendant. So he's the most important planet in the horoscope. He's describing you, he's describing your nature. How exactly? depends on how he's placed, depends whether you're born in the day, depends whether you're born in the night. But in any case, this is friendly planet to you, to yourself, because you're born under Saturn. You are Saturn. So he is entering, like he has been walking around for approximately 30 years. He's been everywhere. He was on your 11th house, where he was sextiling you. He was on your 12th. He was just everywhere. And he would bring you different events. But now when he comes on your ascendant, imagine the Lord was away from home. He comes to bring justice, to make change. Finally, if there were things that you wanted to take place, if you wanted to manifest into your life, he may do this. Once again, how depends on your natal chart, very, very much. But now, imagine him really as the Lord of discipline, as the Lord of karma. All karmic events which are very important, good or bad, everything is karma. The horoscope is karma. Will take place now. The things that you wanted to, on personal level to happen, changes, important changes, depending again where the ascendant ruler is in your chart. But important shift for sure will be taking place in this year. In particular, not when he enters exactly your ascendant, which will be 30th of January, but you will feel more his presence, and the change may start on 1st of March, when Saturn is becoming visible for the first time. As I said, this is his heliacal appearance. So he is rising heliacally because he was hidden in the rays of the sun, and at one point he becomes visible on 1st of March. Then you will experience his powers, because then he will have gained enough distance from the sun, and he will already be able to show up himself. Like then he will make his statement. He will say what is supposed to happen to you this year. And it will certainly, I believe it won't be bad, because he was more difficult when he was on 12th house. Because on the 12th house could be that he gave you a lot of spiritual awareness, a lot of research of the occult and interesting hidden secrets. Maybe he made you very empathic and merciful and helping others. But certainly ascendant ruler in the 12th house is not a very auspicious placement. Ascendant ruler in the 12th house is a little bit of attention on disease, attention on self-isolation, and now he comes home with noisy appearance, with his heliacal appearance on the 1st of March, and you will see how this will manifest for you. It depends very much on your personality. If you're capable of being disciplined, if you know what is time orientation, if you have the right perception of good and bad, if you perceive properly moral values, sense of justice if you have, and I believe you do, because a Capricorn ascendant can be something very beautiful. People with Capricorn ascendant, oftentimes when their word matters, when they give their word, it has value, it matters. So if you have all these good qualities, then Saturn will be very good to you. He will then be helpful financially. He will denote financial beautiful results, and he will certainly be very good. But once again, if we haven't learned this lesson of Saturn, then we always have time to learn it. And on this will depend how he will enter your ascendant. Now he's entering your life powerfully, but more powerfully on 1st of March, when he's becoming visible. This will bring events. You will see what kind of events this will bring. He could be very good financially because he's ruling also your 2nd house. He can bring changes into your career because he's exalted on your 10th house. He could bring changes in your private life because he's making opposition to your 7th. In any case, he's coming to change your life for good. He was for quite some time a little bit like locked up on your 12th house, and now he's coming to be very helpful. Another good thing and helpful for improving your health, spiritual awareness, is luck, winning over enemies, is Jupiter on the 12th house. Now on 30th of January, Jupiter is entering your 12th house, and this is his natural, the place which he's ruling. And Jupiter in the 12th house can help you solve issues with enemies, solve issues with health, creating friendlier environments in your routine at work. So this is one thing. Can help enormously with your spiritual consciousness, awareness, uplifting your vibrational level. Can be very appropriate during his 1 year stay on your 12th house. Can be very helpful to create desire, really to help others, to do work of empathy, to help the poor, to help the sick. And this could be really something that you may do to help your karma, of course, to improve your karmic lessons. And this is, and then Jupiter on the 30th of January, he entered actually in November, but then for quite some time, until 30th of January, he's invisible on your 12th house, which is his natural place, and he's ruling your 3rd house of communication, of travel, of relationship with siblings. And he becomes visible on 30th of January for the first time. And this is a beautiful, powerful heliacal phase of Jupiter, which I'll be using for the creation of Jupiter talismans, because only once per 12 years we have this chance. But not only that he's in his sign, but he's visible for the first time. Very potent, very powerful. So you may look at this link under this video. Another important event is that on 4th of, first of all, in January, Venus is in the sign, the whole January, Venus is on your 2nd house to support your finances, sextile with Jupiter, this is very nice. But then on 4th of February, Venus is entering your 3rd house, her exaltation point. She will be there until 1st of March. This is very nice, supporting your project, supporting travel, supporting spiritual studies, supporting communication with siblings, supporting trade, finances. This is very good. Venus exalted on your 3rd house can be very helpful for your spirituality, also for any other studies that you want to launch or complete. And then on 1st of March until 28th of March, she's on your 4th house to bring blessing to your home. And after that, she's entering your 5th house for another 1 month, Taurus. And there her presence is very important, because then at this then she's going to make a very particular fast on your 5th house in Taurus, which will be very interesting, and I will explain you about this in 1 minute. Now, what is happening also is that what is important for your horoscope in particular is the planets which will go, actually for everyone, but in particular for your horoscope, the planets which will go retrograde almost at the same time. So approximately mid-May, Saturn, Jupiter, and Venus go stationary and then a retrograde. And Saturn on your ascendant, mid-May goes stationary retrograde. Jupiter on your 12th house. And yes, of course, this will be influencing everything. The development of things, how things go, the results we want to achieve. There will be a delay. In general, things will be delayed, and this will be Jupiter becomes direct again on 17th of September on your 12th house, and Saturn on your ascendant becomes direct again on 10th. Let me check again. I forgot the date. Yes, 10th of October. Saturn becomes, and then with this, things will start moving forward again for good on the 10th of October, and before that with Jupiter on the 17th of September. But here is the interesting thing that I will be telling you about Venus. Venus, yes, she turns together with them retrograde. But then on 30th of May, she also is hiding in the rays of the sun, and she will be invisible up until 16th of June. So from 30th of, for the period of 2 weeks approximately, 30th of May or more, yeah, more, 2 weeks, 30th of May until 16th of June, Venus will be invisible. With this, she's not supporting the finances, neither she's supporting the love life of people. But her first appearance is happening on 16th of June on your 5th house in Taurus, her natural, the house that she's naturally ruling. This is beautiful. This is your 5th house. This is the house of luck, the house of joy, the house of creativity, the house of beauty, the house of love, the house of children, and so on and so on. And Venus appears there for the first time. And this is very nice. This will be timing when I will be using again for the creation of Venus astrological talismans. All about my talismans is under this video. There is a link. But it's beautiful timing for you for supporting your finances. It's just a lucky timing. And then another wonderful event on the 28th of July, Mercury is becoming visible in Gemini. Amazing thing, because he's entering Gemini all the time, but not all the time he's becoming unafflicted, visible in Gemini. Again, 28th of July, time when I will be creating Mercurian talismans with you. Mercury is ruling your 6th and 9th houses of your routine, of your of course, health issues, and also, of course, of spiritual awareness and studies. And when he becomes visible on your 6th house, this can be very good, can bring new plans into your routine, new opportunities with communication, relationship with subordinates, new opportunities to heal a disease, new spiritual awareness and information opportunities. So this is new travel opportunities. So this is wonderful. If you have something important to do about project, communication, you may do it around this day, 7 days before and 7 days after 28th of July 2020. So this is also something very, very important. And I will repeat, 17th of September, Jupiter turns direct, and 10th of October, Saturn goes direct, and I told you already about Venus. These are very, very important celestial events that we will certainly feel, that is for sure. And then we are having here on 18th of November, another very important. I picked just the most important events that I thought are. On 18th of, there will be many more, but these are really something that you will feel. On 18th of November to 12th of December, Venus will be on your 10th house too, and this will be aspecting the ascendant. This will be influencing the whole chart for good, for your plans, for your work. You will have auspicious period. After that, on 12th of December until the end of the year or a bit further, she'll be on your 11th house. There she's indeed detriment, but actually she will be an evening star, so this is not that bad. And there she will be supporting your finances, your social environment, relationship with children. So she will have a very good role up until end of the year and the first weeks of January 2021. So, and yes, I mentioned this, I think, no, on 25th of November, Jupiter is leaving your 12th house to enter your ascendant. This is wonderful. I know he will be detriment on your ascendant, but this is Jupiter. It's always a blessing, a new energies of blessing, of abundance to have Jupiter on your ascendant, because he will be making aspect with Saturn. They will form this so-called royal conjunction. I will talk separately about this, and this will be blessing financially for good. So you'll be having next year very good events to come. But again, don't forget to maintain high moral values, to be truthful with yourself and with people, to help others, and to maintain your level of spirituality. This is very, very important, so that you're always on the safe side, and so that this Saturn return on your ascendant brings luck and prosperity. And now let me mention the most important actually not most important, all eclipses. There are only 6, not only, but still 6 eclipses. It's quite some eclipses taking place in the year of 2020. I will repeat, it's not advisable to watch the eclipses. It's not advisable to make rituals on to even to meditate. It's good to just to do your things without to maintain your level of spirituality, and do not have any fears from eclipses, but it is not good to observe them for sure. So the first eclipse is taking place on 10th and 11th of January. It is partial lunar eclipse, and it's happening on the axis of Gemini Sagittarius, which is your 12th, 6th house axis, which can afflict a little bit your enemies, possible enemies to be activated, for example, or could be also that you may need to be a little bit responsible for your health. Then we have another partial eclipse, and this will be for approximately a period of 1 month until this lunar cycle is finished. Then 5th, 6th of June, Scorpio Taurus eclipse, partial lunar. If this is the axis of your 11th, 5th houses, if this is the axis of your midheaven, it's good to be cautious at work, with your plans, with children. Just don't be absolutely afraid, but be a little bit like new initiatives around this period of June, July. Be a little bit cautious, organize yourself very well, be very disciplined and spiritual, and things will pass. And then we're having partial solar eclipse on 21st of June taking place on your 6th house. Could be that you may lack some luck in your routine environment, relationship with subordinates, a bit of health disharmonies are possible, but this moment will pass as well. The most important here is that your ascendant descendant axis is not afflicted. Then we're having partial lunar eclipse, lunar eclipse taking place on 4th, 5th of July on the same axis of Sagittarius, Gemini. And then we're having partial lunar 29th, 30th of November, Taurus, Scorpio axis. This is, again, could be a little bit that if this is the axis of your midheaven, for example, because it could be, that could be influencing a bit your horoscope, which would say this may be a short period when you may not feel very lucky, but this period will pass. Be cautious and diplomatic at work. And then we're having the total solar eclipse taking place on the 14th December in Scorpio, in your 11th house. Again, financially, a little bit can be that the environment around yourself is not very lucky, but this moment will pass. So these were the main, I thought, celestial events for Capricorn ascendant. In the sidereal astrology and in the modern astrology, this will be Aquarius ascendant. So have a very good, very harmonious, very spiritual year, and your comments are welcome. Thank you.